I can't stand to look at you now. This revelation's out of my hands, and I can't bear the thought of you now. This complication's leaving me scared. Stay 'cause you think you want me, pray when you need advice. Hey, keep your sickness off me, trying to get through. Blame all your weakness on me, shame that I'm so contrite. Hey, keep your fingers off me, why can't I get through?
The title of the record, Holding On to Strings Better Left to Fray, it was something I read in a book, or something similar, and I just adapted it to make more sense to the album. And I think it encompasses everything that the album's about, and it's about pretty obviously dealing with, you have certain scenarios in your life that are negative and that affect you in a really bad way. So we tend to hold on to some relationships like that sometimes for no apparent reason, no good reason, because sometimes it could be anything. Like it's better to be in a horrible relationship, because that's better than being alone, and I've certainly been through that a couple of times. But it could also be friends, and people in your life in general. So it's basically just understanding that and recognizing that, and then saying it's better for all of us if I just get rid of this.
Damn, the taste of your mouth, the sublimation's out of my hand.
Country song came about. Our ex-guitar player Troy had this little riff, kind of a country-ish, bluegrass, bluesy sounding thing, which we didn't necessarily think it would work for us initially, but we just started messing with it, and Sean came up with this cool sort of vocal line over it. It was just really catchy. That ended up being one of the first songs that we recorded for the album. Ends up being the first single. It's kind of funny how that works sometimes.
We recorded this album in Nashville, mostly, and we did some recording we did in Atlanta, and we did a lot of the writing between Atlanta, Nashville, and LA. We basically we'd go into the studio with a batch of songs, 4 to 5 songs, record those songs. We would go home and write a new batch of songs, and then we would pick the best 4 or 5 of those, come back in and do that again. So it was kind of a stop-start process, but which is frustrating. But I think ultimately it created a better album, because normally you go into a studio and you've been working for 2 or 3 weeks in pre-production, and you just rehearse the songs to death, and you go in and you just re-record them. And this was more of us even writing stuff in the studio on the fly, making alterations while we were sitting there down tracking the drums. So it was definitely a lot more spontaneous.
All over now. You keep on thinking you can save me.
The goal of every album is to make it better than the last one, as far as we're concerned. All that really matters to us is that we're happy with it, because at the end of the day, we're the ones that have to live with that for the rest of our lives, that we've done that.
Between us, it's got to. Something has to click, something has to work, and if we dig it, we'll hope everybody else does.
Lay down, just stay down. Lay down, because I'm trying to get through.
I think every experience that you have shapes songs in some shape or form. But I don't think that there's any one experience that affects any one song. I think it's always a combination of ups and downs and experiences that will ultimately come out lyrically anyway. The music side of it is just that's just whatever sounds good to your ear. But lyrically, then it's like a catharsis. It's like I don't want to spend $140 a week paying some shrink.
We started playing together in South Africa, and it was towards the end of 1999. Just started playing around in South Africa, local bars, very much just a garage band, just playing for fun, and actually recorded a demo with just a friend of ours. Sent that to the local radio DJ who had a rock show at night, and he actually played our demo on the air.
We actually had a demo playlisted on the national radio station a year before we even had an album deal.
Yeah.
Which is pretty ridiculous.
Rock is not a very big slice of the pie in South Africa as far as music goes, so. We ended up being signed by a guy that we knew, and he had a bit of money that he wanted to start this label with, and we were the first band he signed. Started touring in South Africa on that album, and also sent that album overseas to different labels. And not too long after that, we got a call from Wind Up Records in New York City. Shortly after that, they signed us and moved out to the States in the beginning of 2002. Started recording, and basically we've been in the States ever since then.
Not for pleasure, 'cause I've seen my heart explode. Spin on the road and by the weather here.
We like to tour. We're a touring band, you know. It's good to be home sometimes, but not for too long. Because it's, you know, once it's in your blood to tour, it's difficult to give it up. But then again, we tour so long that by the time we finish touring, we're totally done with touring. Never want to see a bus ever again. Then you take 6 months or a year and you come back and then you're excited about it again. So you go in these cycles. Well, I'd like to go to new places that we haven't been to, like South America. We've got a fan base in Australia, New Zealand. And it's interesting when you start using these communication tools that everyone's using now, like the Facebooks and the Twitters of the world, you start seeing where all the fans are coming from. So we have a lot of fans in Brazil, which would be nice to go and play for them, you know. So.
Hold your eyes closed, take me.
I think this album is, you know, it's where we're at right now as a band, and there's stuff for the people that have been fans from the very beginning, and there's hopefully songs that'll get us new fans, and that's really, you know, all we can try and do, and we're really happy with it. I think it's a good time. It's diverse, and I think we've covered all the bases on this one. I think so. Hopefully, from start to finish, it's quite an immersive experience.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. We worked really hard, and I'll never forget making this album. You pour your heart and soul into it, really playing and writing, and of course it's there for the whole world to critique once it's out, but I'm really proud of us, and I'm really excited for everyone to hear this new album.
Back to the